out, you're going to see a bird problem. Yeah, and then a lot of times, a simple example, when people, they say this very innocently, I didn't want to feel that. So the feeling occurred, conscious contact occurred, and then their head came up and said, I didn't want to feel that. As if they had power not to feel it. Because the conscious contact is the primary condition. The mental state comes after the conscious contact. But in this case, the mental state is being used to imply that it's before the conscious contact. And now, when they're seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching, it uses that to convey or imply that there's a someone who's seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching. Not a no thing, not a spirit, not consciousness, not awareness, but a body. Yeah? A body identification. So it doesn't come to that naturally. The body identification has to be reinforced. It has to be retold like every freaking minute. Yeah? So how it does it. So again, I'll just start with the non-duality. It's just non means not and duality means two. That's it. Yeah? It's just saying not two, and then it's not turning and pivoting and then starting to look for the one. Because in this case, you are the one that you're looking for. So there's no looking for the one. There's just a negation of two. Yeah? So not two. And then what happens is, like a great master said, whatever can be perceived cannot be perceiving. So basically, all of us as a body are off the game board. Yes? Because obviously, the body's not perceiving. Whatever can be perceived, the great master Huang Po from China, Zen master, whatever can be perceived cannot be perceiving. So there you go. It's not the body that's seeing. It's not the body that's seeing. So it seems, oh, that seems to be very innocent, but it's very substantial because it's one of the bases of our whole assumption all day is that we're doing a lot of shit we have nothing to do with. Yeah? And then while we're trying to do ourselves into all these other things, we're not questioning the basic dynamic of the exact nature of what's going on. And the exact nature of the wrong is there's an act of being identified as what you're not. Yeah? So you're using you to look for you.
And I shouldn't be using you.
It's not a shouldn't. It has nothing to do with should or should. Okay. It's good to see it. Because when you see it, you don't have to stop it. You just see you're not that, which is using you to look for you. Yes? It's not about, oh, I'm going to stop using me to look for me. That doesn't go anywhere. You just see you're not that, which is using you to look for you. Yes? You're not that. It's always in a negation. It's not like, all right, I got to get down to work. No, the seeing brings about a recognition of what's going on, yeah? And it doesn't have any dog in the hunt. It doesn't, it just sees. And in that seeing, things get rearranged, yes? So it's not like I should or shouldn't. You just see what the mental state is doing. And the mental state is doing one big movement. It's claiming, yeah? So what happens is consciousness brings us into contact with things, yes? And then the mental state arises and says, I'm the one who's in contact with things. That's what happens. So suddenly, that which is before is moved, and that which comes after, the idea of you, is put before. Yes? So now you're seeing from that which comes after, and then you're looking for that which is before from that which comes after. That's why you're blind, because you are that as the before appearing to be looking for itself as the after. Yeah? This is never going to find this. This is going to be negated, and then it will realize it's this. Yeah? This is never going to find this out here. It's using what we are to look for what we are. To emphasize what you're not. You see? It's a heist. It's a little movement, and the movement is based on time. It's based on time. Timeless contact is consciousness. Seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching, demonstrating no effort, is it? You run out of seeing today? I get 5. I got a movie I want to see, I can't. But you don't pay your fucking scene bill and the thing shuts off. And fucking pull up Page Plus, cellular, whatever. You know, I run out of data. No, none of this. You're seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching quite effortlessly. Yeah, quite effortlessly, you're seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching. Okay, that's the basis. Then time seems to occur, which has us. We are the root of it. Yeah. Then in time, the mental state appears and says, it claims the seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching to imply what? The seer, the hearer, the feeler, the taster, the toucher. So now living turns into an interpretation. So the seeing, which is a verb, yes, this is what's happening, seeing. That verb is translated into noun, yes, subject, object. So now I'm the seer of the seeing. So suddenly, that which is seeing, which is that pure, no polarity, no this or that, suddenly it gets polarized because the mental state goes, the seeing implies the seer and the seeing, subject, object. This is what non-duality is attempting to negate. It's not taking away the seeing, it's taking away the little add-on of seer, seeing. It doesn't have to remove it. Because you are what's seeing it. You don't have to try to stop that. That would actually reinforce it. You just see it. Yeah? You see the seeing, that's the only underlying reality, and the seer and seeing are little mental add-ons. Now they can ride it, but they don't fucking obscure it anymore. Yeah? So now the mental state keeps translating every seeing into seer seeing, but the seeing is being emphasized right where you are. The seeing finally is getting its due. Yes? So all the attention and interest isn't flooding into the interpretation and actually culminating to be all about you. There's a seeing of it. So it doesn't have to change, you just see it. Because the mental process is like blood being pumped. It's gonna keep producing this division. That's what it does. The mental process is like bifocals. It's gonna see what's happening, or it's going to actually become conscious of what's happening, and in that, it's going to cut them into two. It's going to have the seeing, and suddenly the emphasis will be on the seer and seeing. So all day, the seeing, in this interpretation, sees a lot of different objects, but it's always implying the one subject as the seer, you. This is the bondage of self, yeah? So you see tons of different objects. The seeing is always changing, but what's being attributed to is always the same, seer. Yes? So you now become the emphasis of the whole interpretation. Like this book says, the brain, wow, that sounded good. The brain interprets to the body of which it is a part. It's a beautiful statement. The brain, which is taking in a lot of information, is collating all the information and interpreting it to the body. So it is interpreting seeing and everything that's seen to the seer. Yeah, it's interpreting all hearing to the hearer and the heard. Yes, all feeling to the feeler and the felt. So now we're in duality, and non-duality is just a negation of that. It's just saying, there's an undifferentiated light that has never differentiated. It appears to be differentiated. It's seemingly, which means it appears to you to be differentiated, but it has to have you to appear to be real. Without the false subject, you wouldn't be fooled by it at all. So it appears to be real, and there's a negation of that. It will continue to appear to be real, but your fucking heart and soul won't be real anymore. Yes? You'll be able to travel lighter through whatever this interpretation provides, because it's going to keep parsing the seeing into seer seen, hearing heard. It's going to do it. It's not going to stop. Yeah? But your interest and attention in that endeavor will be lifted. Yes? And now your interest and attention, instead of being enslaved to that constantly pointing to you as the one, gets dismissed from that fucking dead preoccupation and maybe enriches your day and maybe allows an enrichment of others during your day. Yes? Yeah. And then you'll know the tree by its fruit. You don't have to have an authority to tell you something's occurred. You'll became available, like it's always available, but when it became available to me, it was like an unspoken yes. It was just like acknowledgement. It's like the greatest guilty plea to plead to. Yes, yeah. I've been trying to get out of self as self. Yes, I'm guilty. I was using the Buddha to seek the Buddha. Yes, I'm guilty of being, of seeking for the sword. Yes, yes, yes. Let go all things, let the spiritual pants fall down, don't pick them up, and let's fucking start anew. Yes? And then if you start anew, you may not be looking much anymore for what you're not, for what you are, because you are what you're looking for. Yes? And it will become clear, like they say in Zen, blue is blue, red is red, things will become clear. Yes? And in that clarity and all these things happening, not caused by this, but expressed as this, yeah? You'll realize on a one deep level, you're traveling lighter throughout whatever life has in store for you, and all the parsing and interpretation, you'll travel lighter through it. And after years of traveling lighter through it as this, that which you're not, you reach a level, what more do you want, yeah? This is not a chariot of the gods. This isn't gonna be the vehicle of transcendence. It isn't. I mean, this is like a Toyota. If you can polish it, but you're never gonna polish it into a Lamborghini. You're not. It's got a certain fundamental programming that you're not going to override. Yeah, so you might as well not step ahead and try to get a solution. Step back and know you are the solution. Yes, why not? Much the easier, softer way. So what happens at these talks, hopefully not this talk, but when people present these ideas, there's many pitfalls they don't emphasize, I feel, or didn't. I haven't gone to a meeting since 2000, but when I was going, there was a lack of emphasis on which I think is the most important point, which is this idea of the inability to communicate to a lion from a lion that it's a lion, yeah? It just amazed me. How does this keep going? How can a lion go to a meeting about being a lion and leave it with the hope that it can become like a lion? I just can't, it just blows my mind. So there had to be some activity that's obscuring the lionness from the lion, obviously, yeah? Because the message can be super clear. You're a lion. I mean, you don't need to, it's not like 5,000 pages of comments. You're a lion. And you would think, oh, sometimes I even get closer. I'm like, right up, you're a lion. And you think if you close the distance, it wouldn't get distorted, but it doesn't matter. You can be like right next to the person, it gets distorted. Okay? I remember I gave a talk, like every talk, 40 minutes about self. And then the guy sitting right in front says, can you talk about self? I said, I've been talking about self for 45 minutes. How did it get lost in that short distance? Yes? Because whatever's said is going to be made what it is based on what's hearing it, where you're sitting. And what I'm saying is the mental state's ability to present itself as you is faster than any process you could try to use to undo it. I just do not believe you could get before the process of the brain organizing this event as a self. It's just too fast. Yeah? So the only place you can outdraw it is in timelessness, which is your inherent state. Yeah? If you try to use a process to get behind this process, it will claim to be doing that process. Yes? It does. Everything you do or think you do, it will claim it. So if you meditate, all the while the mental state is claiming, using the meditation to imply the meditator. It may be working, it may not be working, but it's doing it. It's always doing it. Whatever it comes in contact with, it's going to use that thing, whatever it is, any action, every book, any event, any seeing, hearing, feeling, to imply there's a you. Yeah? And so that you thinks it's hearing the message, and that's how your lion message doesn't get through to the lion, because the sheep believes it's hearing the message. So the sheep neuters the message of being a lion and turns it into I can become like a lion, which is not the message. The message is you're a lion. Yes, I love that. You're right. Here it comes. You're a lion, you're a lion, you're a lion. Enters the sheep ears and it turns into I can become like a lion. That's not the message. So you keep coming back. All right, you're a lion. I think I'm getting it. And then the sheepness just comes over, and it wants to become like a lion. That's not the message. Because a sheep can spend tons of years becoming like a lion. Tons of it. Tons of years. And it's never going to, like Huang Po said it so clearly, you can't use the Buddha to seek the Buddha. So you can't use the lion to seek the lion being identified as a sheep. You can do it for eons and nothing's going to happen. All the seeking is going to reinforce the sheep. Yes? All the learning about the lion as a lion, taking itself to be a sheep, is going to reinforce the sheep. It's not going to liberate the lion from the sheep. It's going to incite the sheep to look for liberation as a sheep, which is more bondage. You see, if you are what you're looking for, the looking for is the blindness to it. If you are what you're looking for, if you're not based on, if you don't have a sense of that assumption, then you're lost. Then basically, probably the next room, there'll be a path being offered. Go there. And you'll feel better, and you, I'm doing better in this shit. No. So the message here doesn't come from me, and it's not directed at you. It isn't. I'm throwing it over your head, hopefully, and because I don't have to aim to hit everywhere. I just throw it up. All I got to do is gauge is how far your mental state can reach, and try to throw it over there. And so we're not like, oh, we talk for 5 minutes, then we go into a loving gaze, and then we go into a deep thing, because the mental state will regroup like that.
Yep.
You'll be here again. Yeah? So what we do is try to overwhelm the system, so you go, oh, I heard that before, and then but throw another and another. So the system collapses, because the system of knowing is its defense mechanism. Because the fact is, what we are is being what we are. Knowing it is the booby prize, completely. So we try to overwhelm the system like spiritual sperm. Yeah? We send out the sperm, blah, 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 Huang Po, this or that. And with the hopes, there's the big mother mind, the egg of mother mind, yeah? And we just only need is one sperm to get through, yes? And if it hits the mother egg, the mind conceives of something. Not the mental state, the mind conceives of something. Hey, I may not be that, yeah? And then suddenly, another baby gets born, I can be free from it. Now you're on to something. And then what happened with me when it occurred, as soon as that second possibility arose, I can be free from it, it told me in a flash, I had been trying to be free as it my whole life. I have been trying to get out of Paul as Paul. I've been trying to get free as Paul, through Paul, by Paul. And the freedom is from Paul. It's a recognition of what I'm not, and then I experience everything from what I am. Yeah? You're not going to experience what you are. You'd have to be something different to experience what you are. And you're not. The only possibility we have concerning what we are is being it. You can't study it, you can't know it, you can't experience it, but you can study what you're not, you can know what you're not, and you can experience what you're not with the hopes that it will tell you you're not that. And so every meaning, there is no non-duality meaning, because where would it be? It's a duality meaning. We're trying to describe the subject-object with the hopes that what you are sees it's not that. Because it doesn't have to wait for it to stop, because it's not going to. Yeah? Do not wait for it to, do not wait for this thing to agree. Yeah? You are not this. Do not let this hold leverage over you because you want it to be there to get it. It's not going to. It's not going to experience its own absence. It's impossible. It's not available. And this is the thing. This isn't that thrilling because it's not an experience. You're just awake, which is your inherent state. You're awake to being awake instead of being asleep to being awake. The awakeness is a fact. Is a fact. Now you can seem to be asleep to that fact in time, which means it's appearing to that which is awake, that it's asleep, or you can be awake to that fact, which means it's appearing to that is awake, that it's awake. That's basically it, yeah? But it doesn't change the fact of awakeness. And if you can't see conscious contact as the demonstration of what you are, I mean, how can you miss it? It's the basis of everyone's day. And there's no thought or effort involved in it. So why would we believe that through thought and effort, we would arrive at that which shows no thought or effort? Consciousness is not doing consciousness. This is a weird thing about mindfulness. Mindfulness, mind is full of mind. It doesn't practice mindfulness, it's completely mindful. You want to take it and use it as a skillful means as what you're not? Go fucking ahead. But what you are is completely mindful. It is mind. So for me, the important thing, and isn't for me, is to just see how it regroups, the system. First is claiming. So when you go hear about what you are, you're basically, their mental state is presenting that it's you as what you're not is hearing this message. And it neuters it. The baby, the birth of the idea of being a lion becomes, I can become like a lion. That's a dead birth. And then you think to comply with that dead birth, then you want to know and study and practice. You don't need, if you're a lion, you don't have to practice being a lion. If you're a sheep, you're going to have to practice quite a lot. And you're always going to bar at the end. You can't keep the lion. You can keep the lion act in a retreat, but come here, you'll be barring like crazy. Yeah, this has to be always available at all times, right where you are, with no requirement necessary. If there's one requirement, you'll fuck it up. The head will make more and more and add new degrees, and they'll just create a separation in time in what you are, where there is no separation and no time. This is so direct, we're missing it. It's so always here, we can't recognize it. It's really like the fish looking around in the water, bitching about how dry it is, really. I don't know how, this is like my ninth talk. I'm getting fucking short-tempered. I had a sword, I'd cut my head off first and cut your fucking heads off. This is a simple invitation. It's so simple. And you've been served the spiritual subpoena. See what? You'll be called from a vertical call, not a horizontal call. Something vertical will inform you of things. And then then there'll be some change. And you'll travel lighter. And you'll lose interest to what doesn't deserve interest. Yeah? To be interested in finding yourself as what you're not is the biggest deterrent of all. Yeah, spiritual addiction is the worst addiction, not the worst, I just want to paint a big picture. Spiritual addiction is insane because there's no interventions. No one's going to come up and say, hey, you've had enough talks. Or, I'm sending your retreat money back. You don't need another retreat. This is your 35th retreat. Take the fucking money and give it to someone else. Yeah? But no, it will go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. I read this op-ed once. It was in this magazine, Tricycle. Very nice Buddhist magazine. Very good articles. But they had an op-ed in this one. It was just half a page. And this famous, I didn't know who he was, but supposedly famous Western meditation teacher, he'd been teaching for 30 years or something, was having strange phenomena with all his long-term students. They were getting in touch with him and saying, nothing's happened. So I just fucking pulled the emergency brake and off the bus. Don't even wait for the next stop. Thank you. You saved me a lot of time. But see, if you don't want to see it, you'll rationalize it. You'll think it's going to be different for you. It's not. You cannot get into yourself because you can't be out of yourself. You can't get into the moment. You've never been out of the moment. Do you believe you can get into the moment? If you do, you believe you could be out of the moment. That's insane. No one's left any moment they've ever been in. Oh, I wasn't there, but the surveillance cameras, you were there, right there. Oh, I was in Hawaii. No, you were in Hoboken. There's the picture right there. Oh no, I was tripping out. No, you weren't. You're right here. There's no escaping this here and now. No. We make up a lot of there and thens, but they're all contained in here and now. Nothing that we think of breaks through this little here and now. Nothing. It's all imaginary going off on this and that. You don't go anywhere. You never have. And you never will. You didn't come and then you're going to leave. You are the space. Yeah. Allow some of that to come into your day. It'll allow you to travel lighter. Yeah. And you'll save a lot of money on your spiritual budget. You really will. And hopefully, if you do, you should tithe at least 10% to me. You will. You'll save thousands of dollars, and you know what? You'll be okay. You'll be okay if you don't do all the things you think you have to do. You will. Yeah? The big spiritual roof isn't going to fall on your head. You'll be left off your own probation, really. Yeah, yeah. You're, inherently you're okay, even as what you're not. You're okay. And then hopefully you'll sense that engine that you don't recognize, that engine of time, yeah? You'll sense it slowing up. You'll sense that urge that's constantly moving you to the next moment. Chill off. You'll feel it almost like a hand coming off the gas or a foot coming off the gas. Yeah? And then when everything isn't moving so quickly, you see things more clearly. Yes? You can actually capture something and see beauty and do this and be engaged because you're always available at all times. You're present, and if you're present, which we are, we're available. And if you're available, you're of service. Yeah? You're of service. There's an attitude of being available. And what most people really need is just someone holding the space. Really for what they're not. So they can finally tell the truth about what they're not. So there can be a lifting of what they're not. Yeah? So that they can travel lighter. I want to read something in the course, if you don't mind. Yes? This book is like a download. But this is, to me, one of the most beautiful negations. So, he doesn't spend any time talking about what we are. He goes right into a description of what we're not. So why? Because hopefully the messenger is trying to send this message to what's hearing, not who. Yeah? Not who's being, not that what we're hearing about. I gotta find it though. Hold on, let me concentrate. That's difficult. I should know this by now. I've used it so many times. I always forget the pages. Maybe it's 368. Well, it doesn't matter. We don't need it. But let's just say one thing. He makes very, very clear, which I really like, which is that the brain interprets to the body of which it is a part. Yeah? That's really all you need to hear in a sense. So that which is collating, the seeing, the hearing, feeling, tasting, touching, and then all the thoughts that are noticed about the past and future, all that is being collated to interpret it to the body. So you are seen as the subject of all subjects that runs into a lot of objects. This is the antithesis of what non-duality is pointing at. It's saying that's not two. There's none of that. That's not actually really happening. It's appearing to happen, but it's not happening. Yes? What will occur? You'll travel lighter through it. You won't take yourself so seriously. Because if you set out trying not to take yourself so seriously, that's taking yourself seriously. You can't get out of the role you play. Yeah? Just like it says in recovery, in addiction and recovery, you've got to quit playing God. It doesn't work. All right? So, all right, what happens if that which is acting like me right now is playing God, and you can see it, like when you wake up in the morning and it tells you how the whole day's going to be? That's playing God, isn't it? When it tells you how, oh, I know who he is, what he's like, that's playing God. Oh, it's going to be terrible, that's playing God. There's something is playing God all day. So in recovery, it says you got to quit playing God. It doesn't work. All right. So what happens if that which is playing God hears that? So that which is playing God goes, hey, I got to stop playing God. So now that which is playing God tries to stop playing God. Isn't that playing God? Ad infinitum. Tell me when that would break. When would that break? When would that which is playing God succeed in quitting playing God? It would be playing God. Yeah? This cannot get out of it. That's the dilemma. The dilemma is all our attempts to get out, they fail because you can't get out of what you're not in. You see, all you do is see you're not that which is playing God. You don't wait, you don't try to send that which is playing God to stop playing God school. You don't waste the tuition because it's gonna reinforce that which is playing God. You just see you're not that which is playing God. You're not that. That's being assumed while the narration is going on, pontificating about the rest of your life, or do this, or that person's out to get me, all this bullshit. It's not you. And what happens when you see it's not you? There's just a loss of interest in it, really. And the loss of interest in it is sort of like the volume control. The volume, why it seems so ever-pressing is the volume's up, yeah? And as that volume, you can't try to put it down, that's more up. What happens is there's a loss of interest in it, the volume goes down, and then certain senses that you weren't picking up becomes fucking obvious. You feel the conscious presence of something, yes, you start seeing tons of coincidences and things, and you see beautiful, majestic little choreographies going on. All these things are there for your eyes to see. But right now, the eyes are blind because something has taken over those eyes, and they're using the eyes that see to interpret everything to the body. Yeah. I don't know how I can say it anymore. It's just, but I will, you know. But it's an invitation. If you don't think you received it, maybe ask who's that thinks it didn't receive it. Maybe you're not that, and maybe there is a receiving of it. See, that's the beauty of it. That which you're not is arising to say that which is. It just happens. You're not gonna domesticate it. Yeah. You're not gonna live communally with it. It's just a view that wants to fucking elbow out all other views. It wants to see everything from a self-centered position. It wants to see everything as how it pertains to us. Now that's going to continue, but you can have a much bigger, larger panoramic lens right behind that activity. Yeah, not totally focused in, but a very large lens that picks up at that activity and then picks up a lot of space around that activity. It's not like the theater isn't all there is in the viewing. Yeah, the theater continues, but now there's an emphasis of a lot more. Yeah? Now your eyes are seeing. Yeah. And of course it brings a leavening agent to that heavy-duty dramatic play that you think you're in. It brings a leavening agent to it. So here, when I was young, this was like CNN news flashes all day. You know, you're fucked, or you're never going to be loved, or you're going to be fired today. Watch out, they're going to take advantage of you. All this, all day. Now it's just Comedy Central. It's the same data going, it's the same ticker tape, but it's just hilarious to me. It really is. The myopic smallness of it is unbelievable. It really is. It can turn any topic and see how it pertains to it. It's mind-boggling. It really is. Like, you're talking to someone, they're talking about their mother. Oh, my mother. No, we're talking about their mother. My mother. Well, how did that happen? I was sharing mine. Well, let me share about my fucking trip to Italy. I didn't ask about your trip to Italy. Immediately, as soon as this token of, oh, but me. It's all day. Yeah, you're looking for a big thing. It isn't a big thing. It's a very small heist. It's like, remember in the beginning of computers, these people robbed they added it, they took in like a cent out of every transaction. No one would never be noticed, but it piled up to be a huge amount of money. But no one missed a penny, but millions and millions of transactions. Yeah, this is what it's like. This is exactly what it's like. You're looking for a big fucking spiritual elephant, like a game hunter. It's an activity. It's an activity going on right now. The mental state is presenting a story, and behind the story is the audience it's playing to, which is us, yeah? We can see the story and then see so much beyond, or if it captures the attention, all you'll see is the story. And in the seeing of the story, there'll be a seeming forgetting of what you are, to the point that what you're not may even want to find it, which is hell. So, that's the message. I seen it. It got corrected somewhat, far out. And I feel everyone has the right to hear about it. Because I know if you hear that all you are is consciousness and all you are is love, you're hearing it from what you're not. It will make no fucking no sense to you. Yeah, because your day doesn't demonstrate it. You see people spitting on people, shit like that. It's all miscommunication. Yes? Let's talk about what we're not. Yeah? We don't need to talk about what we are. There's no need to describe what you are, because it's indescribable. There is a need to describe what you're not, so you can recognize it from what you are, that you're not that. And then just have that space that's always available will become available to you. Yeah? You'll sense it during your day. Instead of claustrophobically living and be at the effects of what's not happening all day. If you're bummed out today, it has nothing to do with today, usually. It's last week or next week. The mental state is producing effects out of what's not happening all day. You're worried you're going to have cancer while you don't, and then you feel fucking weird now. So it manufactured something out of nothing. It's like miracle workers, really. We're making shit out of nothing all day. You're making shit out of next Wednesday. There's no next Wednesday. It's all happening now, but the mental state harvests tons of fucking dire consequences. I'm going to be destitute next Wednesday. Are you destitute now? No. But you feel like you're destitute. You don't know the power of mind. The power of mind is giving everything all the meaning it has. The power of mind is the dreaming of the dreaming. This is an act called dreaming. It's not a noun called dream, it's the act called dreaming, yeah? And the mind is dreaming the dreaming right now. And some of the dreaming is going through this camera, and we're seeing things in a bifocal manner, and we're seeing a projection of mind as a reality from the perceived. See, we're in perception, we think this place is real. If you followed the perception, you would see it's a projection of mind, yeah? A projection of mind, and that's dreaming. The dreamt sees the projection as real. Yeah? To keep trying to convince this that it's unreal is totally wasted time. Just let the dreaming hear about it. It already knows it's unreal. It doesn't have to be convinced. It knows because it's dreaming. This is wasted time. The dreamt believes this is real. That's his fucking source code. Oh, it's not real. Give me a break. Don't waste time on. You do not need to work on this. I've reached the maintenance. Seriously, I said it earlier. Blood pressure. So I meditate 20 minutes a day. If I'm meditating 13 hours a day, I think I'm going somewhere. Really. I'm thinking I'm going to transcend. That's spiritual addiction. For sure. And the funny thing is, as the subject, you sign up for the retreat. It sounds really good to the head. Oh yeah, I'll be bright and people will see how I'm loving gaze and everything. But then what shows up and really starts talking about the retreat is the object. So the left cheek does not want to sit for 13 hours on a fucking cushion. It's like trying to fucking lift itself up, do this. It's not into it, really. The body is not into it, So you sign up for the retreat as the subject. Oh, that sounds great. But what shows up is the object. Fuck! Jesus Christ. Have you ever gone to a retreat? Have you? You ever walk into a zendo? You must have, in a zendo. Beautiful, right? Cushion and then the little seat. After about a week at ones in the West, then there's mountains of cushions. Everyone's built the freaking things to lift this up or this up because all the attention's on their fucking ass. Yeah? It's not going anywhere. It's just reinforcing the fact of what you're not. By you wanting to get out of you, it makes that you want to get out of more real. Yeah. It's funny, well, after the fact, it wasn't funny sitting in Thailand meditating 13 hours for 3 weeks. It was funny, I was at this temple there. The temples are public, yeah. We were doing a retreat there, just, you didn't pay money, you just went there. And in Thailand, every male has to be a monk for 3 months. It's sort of like almost going into the army. So I had a little room they call a kuti, and that was where I was doing most of the meditation. Then you walk around, walking meditation. And you know, having tons of spiritual experiences, seeing mandalas moving, everything like that. Ultimately nothing happened, but it seemed tons of phenomena. And then, so there was a lot of these young kids with monk clothes, smoking cigarettes, driving motorbikes with little ghetto blasters right across the way. And they also had these high-powered slingshots. And my building was aluminum, and they were ting. These big sound like a fucking bomb. You'd be sitting there, ting. They were firing these giant rocks at my little spiritual abode. And then a lot of mongrel dogs go to the temples because they don't get killed, you know, because the Buddhists don't want to kill anything. So every time they rang the bells, they all went into hellish modes. 4:30 in the morning, and it was right near an airport, the planes flying over. It wasn't that conducive, you know. Hilarious. Of course I was clearer. Of course I had, you know, bright eyes. Of course. You can produce that. With good makeup maybe now. I don't know. But the fact is you leave, and the stubbornness of the mental system will override all the experience. It soaks it up like a straw. And it makes something out of it. Now you're a fucking meditator. Now you're a spiritual person. Oh, I've seen it over and over and over and over again. Yeah? You're not going to find what you are by using it to look for it. It's not going to happen. You may have a great life. I like spiritual life, but I'd rather have it presented as brain-body maintenance. Yeah, and I would the first things I would do is take out the word enlightenment, take out the word awakening, because I feel in these spiritual groups, enlightenment has caused so much fucking mental suffering. Yeah, and awakening, people would have been better off, they never heard about it. Because now, am I awake? They're awake. How could he be awake? He hasn't done half the shit I've done. Or you think you're awake and then you've lost it, which is really unbelievable. That is torture. Because now you become the doer of awakeness. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that's it. I'm going to get angrier as the week goes. No. I love the message. It was been very, very freeing, incredibly. That urge that was constantly driving me has simmered down greatly. Yeah? And now I'm here to see what's going on. You know, I'm not looking through this moment to another moment. Yeah, I realized all there is this. And you know what flooded in was acceptance, really. And I saw from the acceptance how unaccepting it's been since I was 6 years old on. It was always like seen as an urban renewal project. Constantly have to be worked on and improved or made better or something. It's slavery, really. It's slavery. The Toyota is a Toyota. It really is. It's sort of like, I'll end with this one thing. This is a nice way of describing it. Let's say there used to be a camera in America called Brownie camera. It was like a little box camera, had a plastic lens. You basically just pointed and hoped, you couldn't see really anything. And it was $10, and a lot of people have brownies. And so there's this Brownie camera. And then this incredible camera walks by on that lovely tripod, HD, surround vision, everything's clear as clear thing. And it looks through the Brownie camera, just to see what life looks like from the Brownie camera's point of view. And in the looking through it, it forgets that it's the bigger camera. Yeah? The looking is there, it still thinks it's looking, but now it's going through the Brownie, and therefore the looking goes back to interpret it's the Brownie that's looking, yeah? Even though it's the big camera looking, thinks it's the Brownie looking, all right? And it's not seeing things clearly, and something's up, and it feels like I'm not being of most use, or other things. There's some, as they say in Buddhism, dukkha, like a malaise or a suffering, and it doesn't know its answer, so there it is. So what happens is, it buys like a $10,000 Nikon lens and puts it on the Brownie. But the thing is, the plastic lens is prior to the addition, so you still get the same fucking Brownie picture, yeah? That keeps trying to improve the Brownie, but the Brownie is defined by the Brownie, yeah? And then suddenly, someone walks by and another camera and says, hey, and he says, hey, bro, what's happening? And he goes, hey, you're not the Brownie. And so now the camera hears that it's not the Brownie, yeah? So the guy, let's say the guy described what it was like to be a Brownie, and then it realizes, hey, I'm not that. It doesn't have to be fucking, like crowbarred off. It was never the Brownie, it just moves back. It still sees the Brownie, but it's not looking from it now. It sees the Brownie, yes? From itself, from the large picture, the large camera, yeah? It sees it. Now, it may still maintain the Brownie, it may like the Brownie, and it has a view, and the Brownie has a certain view that's pretty persistent. Everything's seen as the Brownie. That keeps going on, but it doesn't forget that it's the large camera, even if it looks through the Brownie now, yeah? So it's like the hand in the glove, taking itself to be the glove, and then it has a moment where it realizes it's the hand. It can realize it's the hand while in the glove, yeah? Now there's different, because now it knows it's animating the glove. It was never the glove, it will never be the glove, but it's appearing as a glove to all the other glove puppets, yeah? But it's not fooled anymore fundamentally. It's realized it's a hand, yeah? That's the whole point. Because if you try to become a non-glove as a glove, that's just more glove, yeah? This happens at these talks. That which you not hears it and then tries to become a non-self as a self. It doesn't work. I've seen it all. I've seen a lot of its moves. None of them work. Don't waste time trying to convince the dreamt that it's dreaming. Just talk to the dreaming about the dreamt. And then the dreaming will easily get, hey, I'm not that. And know what? The big beneficiary of that will be the dreamt. You will travel lighter if you're less of the dreamt. Yes? You will. The dreamt will do so much better with a lot of that interest and attention lifted off of it and dispersed, let's say, by wisdom to where now. Yes, it will enrich your Saturday. And then instead of using yesterday and tomorrow to enslave you in this Saturday. Yes. Yeah. Wow. All right, any questions? It's a simple invitation, yeah? It doesn't matter if you think you heard it or not, it's been heard. That which is hearing, still hearing, yeah? And it's like a spiritual subpoena. You've been served. And let's see what happens, you'll see. Yeah, this is like a spiritual shoe store. We put out some shoes, if they fit, wear them. If the statement, you can't use the Buddha to seek the Buddha fits, wear it. It's a very, very value-inducing entertaining, yeah? If you see that that's exactly what, quote unquote, you've been doing most of your life, maybe that will give it the impetus to stop, yeah? So now you'll be the Buddha looking for a lot of other things.
I want the part where you said, stop studying or seeking for what you are and study what you're not.
Yeah.
I never heard that before. I love that. Study what you're not.
For sure.
That's great.
Because if you study what you're not, some of it's going to get through to what you are. And what you are is going to say, I'm not that. And once it says I'm not that, its ability to be free will be available, which is freedom from it, not as it. Yeah? Most of us are trying to be free as this. And there's a lot of people at certain meetings that there's hundreds of years of spiritual practice there, and they're still at a meeting. It's not worked. Yeah? It hasn't worked. You can't get out of it. If you're the car, you can't get out of the car. Yeah? You have to see something. And in seeing that, you realize you were never in. So there's no need to get out, actually. Yeah? That's the beauty of it. It doesn't take any time to arrive at where you already are. It doesn't. And I'll tell you, what you are is of timelessness. And you will sense that. When it appears as a solution in this little situation, it will be of timelessness. Like a thief in the night. It's just a download with no beckoning or thought or effort. You just express it. What this is an expression. It's not a cause. Yeah? It's an expression. If it's given over to that, yeah, there'll be that kind of expression. We've had enough. We know what the mental state's expression is going to be. It's all about me. Yeah? Yeah. In the Course and in recovery, they have these ideas of the Holy Spirit and the higher power. Yeah, maybe in China it would be ancestors, whatever. Yeah, there's this idea that there's other forms of direction other than the self-centered direction. And so you've experienced enough to realize what you're relying on is a failed system, and you've also learned that you can't get out of the failed system as the failed system. And the root of the dilemma is I'm identified as the system that's failed. Yeah? So trying to get out of it is also part of the failure. Yes? Yes. So now you see it differently, and then you go, wait a minute, this thing I'm listening to is a failed GPS. It's got maps from 1970, fucking crazy. Always brings me to police stations, failed relationships, and fucking things, yeah? I don't want to listen to this anymore, but I don't know about any other stations, you know? So what happens is you make up an idea, higher power, Holy Spirit. So the Holy Spirit in this idea takes the same, because the brain is interpreting all this information, yeah? And it's interpreting it to the body. Well, let's say the higher power, the Holy Spirit, doesn't interpret light to the body. It interprets it, let's say, to the spirit, so to speak, yeah? So the same data, the same material, the same metadata, the same information produces a whole different case based on who's collating it, yeah? So you have lived being directed by a failed system. What would it look like to be directed by a reliable system? A certain ease and comfort, yeah? Just like if you go to a country that has universal health care, they don't have a certain strain of anxiety that we have in America. Yeah, I went to Sweden and stuff like that. They have housing, they have health care. There's a certain like anxious string in their little guitar that's not being plucked all the time. Yeah, so they can enjoy life more and stuff like that. So this is in a way sort of similar to that. You're taking the information in, no matter what, but what's collating it is differently. So when it downloads to you, it gives you different direction, yeah, and it gives you a different location on your little GPS. And the location is, hey, I'm chilled. I'm what I'm looking for, or as a great little mantra of, it goes, I think, gone, 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 to the other shore, arriving at the other shore on having never left. Yeah? Why not start at on having never left? Cut out all the other sentences, just on having never left. That's basically the new GPS. Really, it is. On having never left. See how your day would spin out from there, instead of going to the other shore. arriving at that, hey, I'm having never left. Wait a minute. Why was I going? If when I arrive, it tells me I never left. Wait, let's save a lot of mileage by not going based on having never left, right? It's beautiful to me. So I'm saying none of us have ever left. No matter how much we think we have, no matter how much faith we have in the thought system, it really hasn't changed anything. What the sky has never been, affected by the clouds that appear in it. No, you can have thousands, you can have a few. A plane flies through it, it never calls the tower, said it ran into a big chunk of sky. Yeah? When it rains, the sky doesn't get wet. The sky is like mind. Yeah? Yeah? The mind is open, allows everything to appear in it, but it's not affected by anything that appears in it. Why not have a little of that in here? And you could see it as on having never left. Yes? So all those clouds that say you've been going here and going there are happening in a sky that's never gone anywhere. And we are of the sky. Even though we think we're in the clouds, we are of the sky. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
What I found out a long time ago, thanks to you, is that when I'm talking, it's not really me talking, it's my father, or my uncle, or my brother. So when people receive it, I used to get in a lot of trouble. Because I thought I was talking peaceful, calm, nice, but actually it was coming out arrogant, nasty.
Yeah.
But attitude, once I recognized it, things started changing.
Those are all one of millions of examples of perhaps there's a better way. The better way will demonstrate it when it's entertained. It will demonstrate it's the better way. It's not based on belief, it delivers the goods. That's the point. Do you think if this didn't produce a sense of satisfying contentment, I wouldn't be seeking? Of course I fucking would. It was unbearable to be in the mental state I thought I was in. It constantly provoked action, and with very little wisdom, really. And then when I thought it was getting wiser, it was caught in this trap anyway. Yeah, I was fucking. And there's nothing right and wrong with it. Everything is valuable. So what a beautiful thing a failed system can do is show you it's failed. So you'll stop relying on it. And really what these talks are about are really giving you nothing. So you're left with your own devices and you'll see they're not yours. Yeah. You'll see they're the action figure's device and you'll stop fucking falling for every time it demonstrates something, it implies you. Yeah? It's just demonstrating something. It doesn't have to imply you. So yeah. I'm really happy to be in New York on a sunny day. I am.
First one.
What?
First one.
It's just a great place to visit. I wouldn't want to live here anymore. But I wouldn't. I've lived here. I like to be somewhere else. But hey, all right. So, do we pass the basket?